For many of you, you'd been in class when I announced I was going to be on medical leave. That still continues, but I don't want anybody to be left behind in any ways. I want you all to be successful. So as a part of that, I'm going to do module 3 and start that now. What we're going to do is try to work that out online as best as we can. And I'll try to inform you as well about any assignments that we'll have, but I'll try to push everything back just a little bit, and then whatever it is that we aren't able to cover online, I'll go ahead and exempt you from it. So don't worry about, oh my gosh, I have to go back and kind of do all of these assignments again because he wasn't here. I'll work that out with you. But for now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to, one, log into your Canvas account. So this is what you should see when you've logged in. Click on your modules on the side section. My tabs are probably differently labeled from yours, but scroll all the way down to module 3. I've already uploaded everything and kind of edited them as well. The first thing I want you to do is click on the PowerPoint that says Money Matters. That was not the PowerPoint. And I'm going back to modules. Computer is giving a glitch. Alright, so in module 3, here's the PowerPoint. It says Money Matters. This is what you're clicking on. Not sure why that mouse is doing that. Alright, just waiting for that to load a bit. Alright, if you're still having trouble accessing this as it is, just click the download Money Matters and it will pop up as a PowerPoint by itself. As you can see, there are only 2 slides. We're trying to keep it short, but here's what you're really going to do. As we focus on module 3 from Money Matters, I want you to go ahead, and we've talked specifically about Federal Trade Commission and what their role was, but to look specifically at the FTC as a program that they've put in place called Money Matters, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and either click on this link or highlight it. Once this link opens up, I'm opening a new tab, that way I don't lose this page. But I'm only asking you to be responsible for 2 things: shopping and saving and dealing with debt. There is a whole lot of information that is out there on this. However, I'm just asking you to be responsible for dealing with debt and shopping and saving. Once, if this pops up on yours, page not found, you can simply click right here on the money and credit section. And the money and credit section will open up, and you can see 1, shopping and saving, and all the way down here, which is number 4, you'll see dealing with debt. So the first one here, shopping and saving. Just go ahead, click on that. There's several tabs that are subjects under here. What I'm going to ask you to do is, you don't need to overwhelm yourself. During this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right, we won't have class, but I'm asking you to take some time during the regular class time that we would have met to look at these subjects that talks about 10 ways to avoid fraud. Click that link. It will open up into another external link, but just to kind of familiarize yourself with some stuff on here. I remember that one of the things we talked about was know who you're dealing with, and we talked about using a specific address and not using PO Box. I did open several links out and showed you that there are several navigation tabs that are also not listed there, and if they're not listed on the top part of the icons as these that link to another thing, then the only thing that these persons that are committing the fraud is going to have is, hey, rush my order, purchase a trial kind of thing, and you want to kind of stay away from that. So look through these topics here. We've probably discussed most of this in class, but I'm going to ask you to go ahead and familiarize yourself with these topics here. Just read over the information. Now, when you read all of this information over, all I'm going to simply ask you to do is, 1, once you've looked through this, now click the go back button on here for shopping and saving. You can go back after that for 10 ways to avoid fraud. Look over avoiding scams 101. I'm asking you to look at each of these tabs individually under shopping and saving, right? And here are the tabs. They're all highlighted in blue. All I'm asking you to do simply is this. Just find something that you didn't know about, that you thought, hey, this popped out at me. I didn't know, even though we talked about gift cards. Even though we talked about shopping online and talking about using persons as to make those phone calls for promotions or testimonials. If you find something that was unusual here, or you clicked on warranties, and even though we talked about implied merchant warrantability and we talked about the implied warranty for fitness, if there's something under one of these that you recognize, hey, I did not know this, but this is really interesting, all I'm going to ask you to do is go back to your section here, look under discussions, and yours probably upload on the, here's a better way to do this as well. I'm going to click out of discussions and go into the home page. Alright, once your home page loads, I've set this up so that you can see all the details of assignments that are coming up and those that are pending. Scroll down and you will see from here the thing that says reflection on FTC website. All I'm going to simply ask you to do is click on that, and whatever you found that was interesting, just go ahead and make a post under there. Just tell me what you found interesting. Nothing long, just a paragraph. Whatever you learned from this section here, 10 ways to avoid fraud. Just give me one. Just give me one thing from either rebates, it's never too early or too late to save, avoiding scams. Just give me one thing that you learned in a paragraph that you're taking away from this. You will do the same thing with dealing with debt. There will be several topics that you can choose from under here. Some we hadn't gotten to as yet, but you can look through because we're going to be focusing mostly on credit specifically, and over spending money, and choosing a specific person that you can look at in terms of relating to consumer education. But regarding that, one of the things that we will look at during module 3 and later when we start is to focus on that act about how do we cope with debt, or how do we look possibly at credit repair. We'll also have a financial person that comes in during that period of time as well to offer financial guidance for persons that may need that or need advice on that. So do the same thing for dealing with debt or shopping and saving here. Just look through the tabs on the subject. Whatever you found that was most interesting to you that popped out, go ahead and just post it in that discussion section for the one that says in your module 3, reflections on FTC website. It says FTC bestie thing, but you can go ahead and ignore that out. Just post one paragraph on that. Then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about these as we move through this week. So that's the first thing that you're going to do, right? Everybody got it? Until Wednesday, let's make good choices. Thank you.